Well, welcome back to another review where today's model is the 2022 release of the Rapido trains APT E. This model has some absolutely fantastic details, so let's get into the review. Starting off with PC1 of this train. This car is quite long but has some fantastic detail. So let's start with some of the most subtle detail on this model. It has a lot of rivet work with I don't know how many rivets it probably has. It probably has loads of rivet molds, but it has plenty of them as for most of the train. It has a very attractive silver and sort of turquoise livery. It's not quite BR blue and it's not quite light blue, but it's sort of in the turquoise area. Some other details to point out are some vents along where the engines would be. There's also a vent here, and you can just see a door outline along here. Some more prominent details are the exhaust, which are these big blocks on top of the roof. I think there's about 12 exhausts altogether, because the whole train, well, in this car actually, there's four gas turbine engines and about 2 diesel generators. Some other fantastic details to point out are the steps, the step hatch, where the steps would fold out so the driver could climb into the APT from trackside. The door is also very nicely done with painted handles. That's the word. There's also some high voltage symbols for the line, obviously, and these bogies are probably the best I've ever seen on a model train. There is a lot of molded detail along with some very, very small decals. These bogies are quite interesting because they are painted in a different blue to the stripe along the coach. It's just slightly lighter, and all the bogies are painted like this. So now let's move on to TC1. Moving on to TC1 then, some details to instantly point out are once again the bogies shared by each car. There is 3 of these shared bogies along the train, along with the leading ones which are motorised. But some other details to point out is the curvature of the train, which on the 2 passenger cars, or test cars as you can call them, it really highlights all of the rivet detail by casting a shadow over into the deeper areas and letting the rivet lines shine out. Some other nice details are the very nice painted seats, which are painted like the old British Rail's first class seats. There are also some tables, cabinets, chairs inside of this coach. There is also these very weird connecting pieces which just slot onto this train, as its coupling mechanism is not the easiest to get your head around. Some other small details that you can find on this model is this vent over here, just over the TC1 symbol, lettering, blacked out windows here, and also there's some smaller vents up here, and that's it for the vents. For some odd reason, there are literally no doors on these cars, so you would have to go through the power cars to enter into the 2 centre cars, which are labelled TC1 and TC2, and then there's PC2. But there's something very special inside of TC2 that just makes this model very special. I am now on the other side of my layout, just to point out this very, very, very special detail that is only known to be on the APT E made by Rapido trains. And this is the computer lights inside of the locomotive. There is plenty of green lights along with some flashing amber and red lights. This is just such a very, very nice detail that by itself makes this model worth buying. Other details inside of TC2 include some tables, cabinets, obviously all of the computer detail, and there's even a little private room with a glass door. I've just spotted a very tiny fuse box, sort of this window here. There's like a wall just there, and then there's a fuse box just there. So very nice detail all around. So now Now let's see. Now I'm going to point out some other smaller details on this model. The bogies. Obviously, there was two other runs of the APT E by Rapido. The first one, which was a National Railway Museum special, and the second one, which was also a National Railway Museum special, but this one was made to commemorate Rapido's train's first entry into the UK market, which was obviously the APT E. But one thing that I have noticed on the older models is that the hydrokinetic brake pipes are not painted on them, and this one they are painted as silver. So that is just a very nice tiny detail that you can point out. Another little technical detail that is there is that on one of the centre cars there's two bogies, but on the earlier models there was two bogies on the power car, so that's just a very nice technical detail to know about. That's it for all of the detail onto the APT E. Now then, this one is sound fitted with ESU's Locksound V5 decoder, so I'm now going to show you all the features on this decoder. One thing that I have just missed about the Rapido train's APT is the lights. They are very subtle, which is a very realistic take for the Rapido trains, unlike Batman, where they blind you with high visibility lights on models such as the Class 57 and 37. But on PC2 it is now displaying the red lights, but I'll now show you something very special that was very exclusive to the first run of this model. So I'm now just going to quickly change the direction of this train and you'll see the lights slowly fade out. As you can see, they have slowly faded out. This is only for the headlights and not the same for the cab lights, which is a bit of a shame, because I would have liked to see a bit of a delay with the turning on of the cab lights, like the driver has just turned on the headlights and then turned on the cab lights. So as I said before, I'm now going to show you all the features of this ESU Locksound V5 decoder. I am now back on the other side of the layout, and now I can show you all of the features on this ESU decoder. So function 0 is the lights, which is probably the same for every other single decoder that exists. Now then, function 1 is to turn on the gas turbine engines. Then function 7 is to turn on the auxiliary diesel engine. Function 2 is a two-tone horn, which is quite hilarious. It sounds very funny. A nice feature about the two-tone horn is that if you press function 2, it will not do the two-tone horn until you've let go of function 2. So, as you just heard, the very amusing horn, and I can make that first tone as long as I want. That is quite a nice detail. Sorry, function, not detail. Because two-tone horns are either too long, too short, too high pitch, too low pitch. But that's just a very nice detail. Now then, function 3 is another horn. I don't know if it's low. I think it's the low. Yeah, that's just a single low. Then function 4 is a single high. Now then, I'm just going to have to quickly get the booklet. Right, okay. F5 is the hydrokinetic braking fan. Very nice, no sound. F6 is door sound. Very nice. F7 is the auxiliary power unit. F8 is air sound. Very nice. F9 is cab lights directional, so it changes end. F10 is next engine start. F11 is next engine start. F12 is one of 3 steps down and up. 1, 5, 6, 2, 5. Seems to be a specific product code, that one does. But anyway, F13 is DC lighting, so you can put it on DC. F14 is the tilt pump. And the F16 is the world record montage. I don't know what that does. Let's see.
Right, we're off. But we've got it, we've got 1,000 up to the front end here. 700 at the back. That's lovely, right? so yes. The other one now. And we're not off them turbines this time. Yeah. Mile 464 now. 102.7. First going full jack now. Just wind him up a little bit more, eh? 57 3/4. We're going to go through this stuff, but 57.5. Speed through Discot. Discot station 150 dead. Hallelujah. Alright. 53. 150 dead through Discot. I can see the brake board. 47 mile forward. Quarter of a mile. The brake is going on now. 152.3 maximum of braking. 152.3. What was that again, Hugh? 152.3 and Mike Newman has won the tweet.
Well, that's an interesting sound of the crew going the fastest a British train has done, which it took over from don't know what it was, probably Mallard. Yes, because that went 148, that went 150. So, I'm now going to start up the gas turbine engines, which are very, very loud. So, function 1. Right, I'm on the wrong thing there. So they take a while to start up, and you cannot move the loco when they are starting up. So you have to wait for all of that stuff to do. Oh, here we go, they're booting up now. I think they're finished. You can never tell. But now let's press function 7 to turn on the auxiliary diesel engine. Right, that is now started. Let's get this thing moving, and then I'll show you some running shots of this very nice model. So you can hear the gas turbine winding up, and off it goes. It is now time to have a look at the box after them very nice running shots. So, the box, it is quite large, considering that it does house a 4-car train. But I love this box. I simply love it. Like, Rapido have done a very good job with the box. It is actually better than the National Railway Museum special of this train. So there's this absolutely beautiful illustration of the APT E, which was hand painted. It's not like a computer render. So it actually says in the booklet who it was painted by, actually. Oh, quickly. It's right at the back of the booklet. I'm going to talk about that as well. It was made by John Wixton, GRA, just in case you wanted to know that. So, some other features of this box is the very nice big 00 gauge British Rail APT E. You got the Rapido Trains logo up there, which is actually the APT E for the UK, trains. Equipped with DCC sound, little symbol. Now then, let's move on to the side of the box. Very nice, once again, big British Rail APT E in yellow this time, but the OA gauge stays white. There's a nice yellow stripe going along here. Once again, a Rapido Trains UK logo, except for this time in yellow. And then there's this where Rapido trains are based. No, there's nothing on the back. It's basically the same on the other side, except for some other things. There's this I love this little thing of the Rapido trains thing. There's the thing, barcode, and then it's just some information. Complete 4-car tilting train, two powered power cars, two trailer cars with lighting, and then it just says produced under license for SCMG Enterprises Ltd locomotion models. Then we have the locomotion models just here. There's just about not throwing anything away of this product, and then it's the same once again, and then it's the same for the other side. So let's have a look in the box now, because it is quite well packed. If I can get it open. Oh my god. One second. It's this side. Do I have to use a bit of force? I think it's going to come off now. No. Yes, it's off. Right, so there's the inside of the top lid. It says white. So some cool things that you get with this are some stickers, which are just Rapido Trains UK and about the new gunpowder van, the buses, all of the logos. I like that one with the APT E. Here's some spare parts for all of the detailing and other things. Yeah, there's some spare plugs just in case you bend any. There's a few other things just there. A few plastic things from when I unboxed this thing. But then there's some sheets of all the spare parts and a list of them, just in case you're missing anything or need anything. So you can just see how much stuff there is that went into this train. Once again, the same thing, but I think this is for this is for TC2. TC2 this one's for. Yeah, they come in individual sheets. So this one's for one of the power cars. Just the body shell, all the noses and stuff, all the cogs and things. Then that one's for the other power car. Just move them out the way. So there's a lot of foam in this box. This is from inside the plugs on the train. There is a lot of foam. So if we just quickly remove this, just a square piece of foam really. One thing I don't get about this foam, it's square, right? Only fits one way. So a very empty box here, but you can see how well packed this is. There's foam in between each ice cube box. There's foam around it, but it's just really well packed. And then around the ice cubes there's the plastic sleeve. There is also plastic film over the top and bottom of the coaches. If you buy one of these, that will come with that. But that's really it for the box. And now it's time for my final verdict, whether you should buy it, wait for a sale, or completely avoid. But this one is going to be a bit of a different final verdict. So let's do that. So then, my final verdict on the 2022 release of the Rapido Trains APT E is get it if you're going to use it. Because if you're going to get this, it's not cheap. It's £407 from retailers and £480 from Rapido themselves. So get it if you're going to use it. Because once you've coupled this thing, you don't want to uncouple it. Because I uncoupled it yesterday when I was testing to see if it would hit anything around the layout, and it was very violent to uncouple. Like, I was like pulling, wouldn't happen, and then bang, it just went right apart. And also coupling it is a pain. You have to hold it. You have to push this plate in, hold it up 10 degrees, and then click them together. So it's something that you're gonna want to keep on your layout. So that's it for the review on the 2022 release of the Rapido Strains APT E. Thank you for watching the video, and if you made it this far, why don't you subscribe? Because you've been watching my videos. So, anyway, I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye.